Hi, we're Ellie and David, and we're overlanding across Europe and Central Asia in our Land Rover Defender Yak. In this episode, we're in Tajikistan. After spending a relaxed couple of days with a new friend, we attempt to start the infamous Pamir Highway, but unfortunately Yak has other plans.
Yoshingiz Nechada? Yoshimni? 21. 21. I'm 26. No, 21.
We don't have any Wi-Fi, so we can't use Google Translate, so we've broken out the Central Asian phrase book. These boys came over this morning and we were chatting to them for a bit, and they came back with a massive bag of apples, which is really nice of them. And now they're helping David put away the tent.
$1.3 million.
These ladies have invited us to their house for dinner, but sadly we've got to rush to the border, but maybe another time.
Oh, it's a shame.
Yeah. Rahmat!
These women pulled up next to us and kept like honking us and trying to get us to come over and eat and sleep at their house.
And I wrote out this message in Uzbek. It basically says, sorry, we're going to Tajikistan, thank you, because we're in a bit of a rush to get to the border. But they ended up kind of signalling for us to pull over in the end, and took about 1 million photos, but they were so friendly.
Can't believe how friendly everyone is here. They all just want to take photos with us. They're obviously just really excited to see tourists again. I guess maybe they've not had any for a couple of years.
David, shows your feet. Wow. We've come to find some plov on the way to the border because Fleur wanted to try it before she flies. And we pulled up to this place and two guys have taken us around the back of some buildings. Looks a little bit sketchy, but it's probably fine. So we were a bit concerned at first because they were charging us the equivalent of, was it about £16?
Yeah.
For the plov, so we thought that can't be right, they're trying to rip us off a bit. But it's because they were saying we could take this ceramic bowl with us. It's quite a big bowl, I'm not sure where we're going to put it in the Land Rover. But yeah, how much was it in the end?
Like £8, something like that.
Not too bad.
That's alright.
How is it? David? This is an absolutely massive dish. There's no way we're getting through all of this. I think we're going to have to like give it out in the queue for the border or something.
So we spent all of today sorting out stuff like insurance for Uzbekistan to Land Rover. We needed to get PCR tests to get into Tajikistan. So we spent all day doing that in Adijan today, and we've just got through the border now. It's 12:30. It's quite an easy border actually. We sorted out all of the import tax for Tajikistan. It's like $25, but they didn't actually even check our PCR test, which was really annoying because we waited around in the city today for about 5 hours to get the results. Meant we could have crossed in the day, but I mean we had to get it. They told us we had to, so there was no way around it anyway. Yeah, so we're going to drive about 20 more minutes to get to a lake, and then tomorrow we're going to drive to Dushanbe and hopefully get an Airbnb or something so that Fleur can get herself ready for the flight to Thailand. I'm in quite desperate need of a shower as well. But yeah, I'm feeling alright. It was a nice crossing. Probably over in about an hour, so a lot easier than the ones we've done recently.
We ended up getting to our camp spot at about 1:30 last night and got a few hours of sleep in. We're heading to Dushanbe today. We've got to get some things on the way, like a SIM. We need to pick up some cash as well because I think we're going through a toll road through the mountains. I think we're going to make it in good time to Dushanbe for Fleur's flight if everything's alright with Yak. Hopefully we won't break down on the way. These tunnels have been quite scary. There's no ventilation in them, so they're really smoggy and it's hard to see anything. It's crazy. We've got massive trucks overtaking like 2 trucks inside of tunnels. In 2 and a bit days, we'd managed to cover about 1,000 kilometres, get our PCR tests and paperwork done, and cross 2 borders with our drone somehow still in one piece. Thankfully, it was one of those rare occasions where yak doesn't break down, and we reached Dushanbe Airport with time to spare.
I noticed a bit of oil seeping out the rear flange, and checked the bolts. They're basically finger tight, so they've not been done up properly since the last time they were taken off. So I need to nip them up to the right torque. Found an abandoned petrol station, quite a few around, which is perfect. It's spitting at the moment, so it just makes jobs a bit easier and a bit nicer. Yes, I'm just going to jack the Land Rover up, take the wheel off. So we found the Haynes manual as well, because I just need to check the torque settings. I think it's 64 Newton meters, but I just want to double check. We've not got any signal, so it's good to have this with us so we can know what we're doing.
From when we started planning the trip, one of the things we were most excited for was the Pamir Highway, which we started today. It's the 2nd highest road in the world. A lot of it's very remote, and it spans pretty much the whole of Tajikistan.
We're going to cover as much of the Pamir Highway as we can in face of the current restrictions on the Gorno-Badakhshan region. There's a lot of conflict going on, both with kind of Afghan and Tajikistan borders, but also within this region, which is, I think it's over 2/3 of the country. It kind of is self-governed, and they've had clashes with the Tajik government in the last week or so, and there have been quite a few deaths. And so there have been warnings to not go into this region. We've also had information saying that there have been a couple of Westerners who have been arrested within this region, so we're not going to go there. Partly because we can't get a permit at the moment. The Tajikistan government are kind of wary giving up permits, but also just because it's not safe, which is a shame because the main stretch of the Pamir Highway we wanted to do is within that region. But we're excited to do this road anyway. It looks really, really stunning already. I think we'll have to come back along this road, but not the worst thing in the world. So really looking forward to doing it, but obviously a little bit gutted we can't do the whole thing.
Another area we were really excited to do was the Bartang Valley. You might have heard about it before. It's quite infamous for being kind of one of the roughest tracks you can do. But sadly we won't be able to do that either, just because it's so close to Afghanistan, and obviously there's a lot going on there at the moment.
This guy came up to us whilst we were at the spot next to the river and said, "I want you to be my ghost, I want you to be my ghost." And then when we translated a little bit, he said, he wants us to be his guest. So he's brought us to his land here. We came across obviously on that little cart. It was really, really fun, a little bit scary. It's got really amazing land. We've got mulberry trees, tomatoes, he's got hives as well, I think.
This looks amazing, thank you so much.
Welcome. I don't know what's
Mulberry? Are they mulberries?
Mulberries, I think.
I think mulberries.
Maybe. Oh, thank you so much.
You are welcome.
I've just looked up these ones, and apparently they're called Pamir mulberry, which is pretty cool. Okay, we're going to try some of this. What's it called?
Chaka.
Chaka, made with milk. I'm not sure whether it's sweet or not, but yeah, try it on a bit of bread. Yeah, give it a go. Whoa. It's very zingy. It's definitely fermented. They just brought out a car battery with a little mini inverter on top, hooked up to a light bulb. It's a great idea.
Hello. Hello, my name is Ramazan. Welcome to my country in Tajikistan. خوشم یک شب میهمونیده سیگزنم دل بیچه دانیده خوشم یک شب میهمونیده سیگزنم دل بیچه دانیده باز کنم قلبی گیره بانیده باز کنم قلبی گیره بانیده سزنم از لبو دهانیده سزنم از لبو دهانیده.
We're about to cross over the river again, back to the Land Rover. A bit nervous to do it in the dark. I made it across alive. You're alive!
I'm very heavy.
We've got our berries. So that was an experience.
It was pretty scary. We were just squatting in the front. They offered us to take these berries back. So I'm just squatting at the front of the car, holding on with one hand, just holding this bowl of berries. Can't see anything ahead of us because I don't have my head torch. But we made it across safe, but it was quite scary.
Did think that might be the last time I was ever going to see you.
Ramazan's taking us on a walk up this mountain here. He says it'll take half an hour. I'm not convinced about that, but it's a really nice day. Said we might see some snakes, so yeah, looking forward to it.
Is that better?
A lot better. He's being taught how to make osh, the national dish.
I think it's basically plov, but they call it osh in this region.
We've got rice, onions, carrot and
beef. Rahma. So maybe like this?
Yeah, true.
Start with the oil up to like here. Right?
Nie wiem, go ciąć tego.
Okay. More?
Хватит.
Yeah, lots of oil. We're going to put the beef in now. Where's the fish, David? Right, it's onion time.
No, no, no.
Please.
Okay. Ya pada kamu tadi. Thank you. Thank you. Goodbye, guys. Welcome to my country. See you soon in
See you soon.
Okay, bye.
Goodbye. We said goodbye to Ramazan and his little patch of paradise and headed back onto the highway. We really appreciated the couple of days we'd spent here, chatting, eating and feeling properly immersed in the landscape. This was definitely one of the most special places and friendships of our trip.
Our transfer box has been whining a lot recently the last couple of days, so I checked the oil this morning and we were pretty much empty, which is really bad. So we were looking around for a place that has an oil pump because I had all the oil we needed, but just no way of getting it in. And I didn't realise the little bottles we've got have like a little nozzle on it that you could just pour and pump into it, so I could have done it myself. But we went to this mechanics and he did it for us, put almost 2 litres in, the capacity's 2.3, so we were really close to being empty. And I asked him, how much money do you want? And he said, nothing, a franc. And he said, English, he wants some English money. And he just wanted it as a keepsake, basically. So he gave him 50p and he was really excited and he was showing everyone the money. So yeah, really nice guy. He acts not whining as much anymore, so yeah, quite happy. There's something really bad's happened at the back. I'm not sure what it is. It sounds like it's either a half shaft, a flange, or worst case scenario, diff. It sounds like something's moving but not catching, so potentially some teeth have shorn on either the flange or the half shaft or the diff. So I'm going to have to take the rear prop shaft off, put it into diff locks that we at least have got 2-wheel drive. We're going to have to drive back to Dushanbe and just see if anyone can help us back there. Obviously not many Land Rover parts, if any, so we're really kind of stuffed if that's the case. We could do the rest of the trip in 2-wheel drive. Obviously that's not ideal, so the roads we'll be taking, but might be the case if once we get back to Turkey we have a better access to parts, but I'm not really sure what we're going to do for now. We've also obviously only got 30 days max in Tajikistan, so really a little bit worried at the moment. Couldn't really have broken down in a worse place. We're on quite a steep hill at the moment, so we've lost our handbrake because whatever it has gone is linked with the handbrake, so I really need to take the prop shaft off and put it into diff lock, because at the moment all that's holding us in place is my foot on the brakes and these chocks. Yeah, go. Very slowly. Stop. I've managed to get the bolts off on the diff side of the prop shaft, but the bolts that go into the handbrake drum I can't get off at all, and I've tried forcing it, and obviously I don't want to round the bolts off because then it'll be impossible to get off. I'm not really sure what to do at this point. I've put some GT85 on, used a wire brush to clean them up a bit. Hopefully in maybe 5 minutes they'll be a bit easier to get off, but at the moment they're not budging and I really don't want to round the bolts. So just sort of waiting, and hopefully they'll come off once the WD-40 set in a little bit. So I've managed to get 2 of them to loosen. The other 2 are starting to round, which is a little bit scary. I've put more WD-40 on them, brushed them again with a wire brush. Going to leave it for another 5 minutes and hopefully that will loosen them a bit. Not sure what we're going to do if they do round off and I can't get them off. It's starting to get dark, sun will set maybe in an hour. I'm not sure what we'll do at that point. It was a little bit nerve-wracking, but hopefully we'll be alright.
Obviously the handbrakes failed. We have put some chocks in just in case because we're on a hill, but I've been sat here with my foot on the brake for about an hour just in case. So this really nice guy in a minibus pulled over to ask us if we were alright because they saw David under the Land Rover. He managed to get the last 2 bolts off that David had been trying to get off for ages, so that's great. We didn't have much to give him, but I just gave him some biscuits. It felt a bit bad. So yeah, we're deciding what to do now. I think we are going to head back to Dushanbe. It just seems like the sensible thing to do. We'll probably have to find somewhere to stop and camp on the way because it's getting dark now. But yeah, disappointing because we were so excited for Pamir Highway, but hopefully we can get this sorted out as soon as possible in Dushanbe and maybe get a part sorted out, we don't know. But it didn't seem like a wise thing to do the road when the Land Rover's in this kind of state.
Once we'd got the prop shaft off, we drove a little bit in 2-wheel drive and the half shaft wasn't moving with the wheel, so the teeth have obviously gone. either on the flange or on the half shaft or both, so it was making this horrible sound as we drove. So we drove really slowly to this spot where it's nice and level. I'm going to take the half shaft off. I think that's okay. I've just messaged Ellie's dad to see if that's okay. So take the half shaft off and then we should be able to drive without it. But just checking that's alright, and then we'll take it off and hopefully be on our way without any noises, without anything else getting damaged.
We've got some delicious scraps of stale bread for tea, and I've managed to mask the taste of mould with some sweet chilli. It's pretty luxurious travel.
Finally, we can get hold of you. You're right.
Yeah, been better, but we're alright.
Are you somewhere safe? That's the main thing.
Yeah, we're on a little side road. The flange obviously sits here on the end of the half shaft, and that's supposed to turn with it, so the teeth are fully worn on the flange, because they're supposed to grip the end of the half shaft and they turn together as a unit, but as you can see, that's not happening. So we're going to get this welded to the end of the half shaft as a kind of temporary fix. It's not ideal really, but when we're back home we can sort it. Hopefully this will get us back to Britain, but for now we're just going to get it welded so they're back together again.
For the past hour and a bit we've been driving around the villages here looking for someone who can do some welding for us.
We're driving along, going about 20 miles an hour just because we don't want to make the damage worse, but this guy pulled up behind us honking us, telling us to pull over. He handed me his phone, his daughter was there saying, oh, my father can help you. I translated, we just need some welding on the car, and they said, yeah, follow us. So they're over there, and we're just following them really slowly, and hopefully we'll be able to get it done soon.
I think everyone in the town knows why we're here now.
We're in Kazakhstan, the exhaust fully snapped off on the corrugated road, so we're going to get that welded now as well. So whilst they've been doing the work outside, Ellie got invited in for some tea and some watermelon.
And the old man that invited me in mimed that he was off to kill a goat. He just went...
A bit of homemade gasket going on here. Everything's been done, prop shaft's back on, they did everything. The weld seems to be fine, we've got drive, we're out of diff lock, so I'm quite pleased. There's no slack in the drive chain, changing gears or anything like that, so I think it's all fine. Hopefully it'll hold up until we're back in Britain. But we've got to go to Dushanbe now because we didn't have much cash left, which is really, it's our fault, but we're going to have to go and get some cash so that we can send them money, because they said, oh, give us what you feel like, so we offered what we had in our wallet, which was only equivalent to about £14. But then they said, oh, you can go to Dushanbe and send us money from there, so we're going to do that now. We need to get money out anyway for the Pamir Highway because we didn't have much left. So we're heading back there now. It's only about an hour 20 to spend away because we're going to have to go there and then come back, but it's the right thing to do. We camped in this dried up riverbed last night. We didn't sleep particularly well, either of us, because we both had food poisoning. It wasn't from a sheep's head or dodgy meat on the side of the road, it was just from a burger in the shopping centre in Dushanbe, so not feeling super great.
But at least the Land Rover's all fixed now, so ready for Pamir Highway, take 2.
Let's go.
We've been driving for about 2.5 hours along the highway today. We've stopped here, it's a really nice spot for us to camp tonight, and then tomorrow we're going to carry on along the road towards the Gorno-Badakhshan region. they keep bringing more food out. It's so fresh. So much food. Looking good, David.